So now we're live. This is not an official pair programming session, it's just a test, so you don't really have to do much of anything. Do you guys have experience with sharing screens and all of that? Does anybody want to practice that here while we're here? Because I don't have anything to do much beyond just making sure we got the mechanics down to starting this and make sure it worked. Yesterday, Vijay and I were trying to get it work on a project we're working on, and the auto notification didn't work. So I wanted to make sure it did, and it did today. Vijay, do you know? Go ahead.
Yeah. You were saying something, so you're not complete.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
So you were talking about the sharing the screen. So I thought, the things that we're working on, you might share some stuff. So I don't know, means how to, I'm still not up to the speed with the AV, so I don't know what to say.
Oh, I see. Yep, no problem then. So, Vijay, did you want to do anything? Do you want to share your screen? Go through those
Yeah,
mechanics?
I'm
I don't know if you've
gonna,
done that yet.
and my left hand side sharing the screen, that you click that one and it is sharing the screen. I didn't open anything, right? Okay, I'll share this.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, I can see your screen.
Okay.
That's great. So, one of the things that we were talking about with Sam, that I was talking about with Sam this morning, was using this waffle system as opposed to Pivotal Tracker as
Yeah.
kind of an agile process management tool. And Vijay, what he told me was that he likes Waffle because it's integrated with GitHub.
Yeah. I'm reading that wiki pages, the waffle, about the waffle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not as
Yeah,
fully.
actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, I attended a Scrum call with Sam, and he did mention that they might be planning to move to Waffle from PT because of its integration with GitHub. For example, if you want some new developers to start contributing to projects, so they have to be exclusively added to PT each time a new developer comes in. So I think he mentioned, I don't understand the entire case completely, but he did mention that onboarding new developers on web is much easier since it is integrated with GitHub compared to PT. So that might be the reason.
Yeah, and I think that kind of makes sense. Let me see. Let me see if I can. I'll share my screen at this point too. You guys should see a waffle.
Yes.
Tracker. You see that? Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
So this waffle tracker is integrated with our GitHub which is our code repo, GitHub. The problem is that people other than the project manager, this is Hua here, the project manager, he's the only one that can actually change anything on this view of the GitHub objects. The only thing that I can do, or anybody else like Vijay or anybody else in the team can do, is they can add an issue. They can click on that. They can give a title, enter a description. That's pretty much it. And then once an issue is added, and here's one that's been assigned to me by Hua, the project manager. So I can click on it. I can't change any script, any text that I put in here. I can't edit or comment specifically on anybody else's comments, but I can add new comments. That's pretty much it. I can't give it a different tag. The label is assigned by the project manager. I can't reassign it to somebody else. I can't create epics and put stories under epics. There's a lot of things that we can't do in Vijay as well, because the repo itself, the code repo, is read-only to myself and Vijay and anybody else in the project except for the project manager. And we don't want to give everybody read-write access to the code repo, because any one of us could then merge a pull request or do things that could be damaging to the code repo. So obviously we don't want, if we have a team of 10 members and one project manager, we don't want all 10 people to have that level of access to the code repo. So what GitHub says is that if you want to use Waffle, you actually should create your issues in a second repo in GitHub. And that second repo is just for issues associated with your project. And there you give everybody in the team ownership to that code repo so they can do anything. They could do read-write. So if that were the case, then I could click on this issue, which is not owned by me. I could reassign it to somebody else. I could add labels or tags, if you will, whatever you want to call these. I could do all kinds of things, just like we might be able to do in PT. So it's a bit more cumbersome. So what I'm going to recommend to Joette today, our PM, is that we go ahead and try to make Waffle work, create a second repo, and see if we can get this thing to work as envisioned by Sam, because I understand and I get the tight integration with GitHub, and I think there's a lot of benefit to that. As opposed to if we were using Pivotal Tracker, we would have a story in Pivotal Tracker related to, let's say, a pull request in GitHub, and we're supposed to go into Pivotal Tracker and add a link in the PT story to the GitHub pull request. And we're supposed to go into the GitHub pull request and add a link to the PT story associated with that pull request. So you have to add links on both sides to make it really work. And I find a lot of people on projects just don't bother to do that. So I get the value of Waffle being tightly integrated with GitHub and what that gives us. So my opinion, we ought to try to make it work, even though it's a little bit more cumbersome and less fully featured than Pivotal Tracker. So anyway, that's kind of my take on things.
So, Patrick, one question. So, I guess we haven't moved completely on Baffle yet. So, in the meantime, we'll continue to use PT, right?
I think most of the projects are still using PT, and local support, which is the main one that Sam's involved with, still uses PT as well. I think this project, this MetPlus project that I mentioned here, I think we might be the first formally using Waffle, the first project.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're kind of the guinea pig.
Yeah.
And it's not as clean and easy as maybe Sam and other people would have hoped. On the other hand, I think there's enough benefit that we should explore that's worth the pain of trying it out. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I guess we just had a mini scrum, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll reconvene in about 4 hours, I guess, and go through the MetPlus project. Ivan, anything on your side to report, or do you want to explore?
I guess I just joined your project to view how it's going, and I'm a newbie, absolutely.
Oh, I see. Yeah, here we're just trying to make sure that we got the mechanics down of starting this Hangout events and sharing screens and all that, so we don't fumble in front of it in case we're trying to do it for the students on 169.1 course, that we're more practiced in it.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, I'm starting to learn Ruby on Rails. I'm actually a software engineer with, and right now I work with Node.js tech, but interested in Ruby on Rails. And this project is interesting for me.
What technology are you using right now, Ivan?
Right now, I primarily I work with Node.js.
Node.js, server side technology.
Oh, Node.js.
Node.js.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right now.
Aha. Well,
Yeah.
JavaScript's always good to know.
Yeah.
So where are you located, Ivan?
Once again, what?
Where are you located?
I'm from Russia, from south part of Russia, Taganrog.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
I was on a project with and doing a pair programming with two other people, both of whom happen to be in Russia. And one was in Moscow, and one was on the eastern eastern side of the country. And those two people were 7 time zones apart. And that's not even spanning the full breadth of Russia. That shows you how big Russia. The U.S. is 3 time zones, you know, apart between East and West Coast. So anyway, I was just opens your eyes, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think covered everything I wanted to do on this call, which is basically just play a little bit. Anybody else want to try anything, or pretty much call it a wrap then? All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Good to talk to you. And,
Yeah, thank you, Patrick, and everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you around. Bye now.
Bye, Ben.